Hey everybody, it's Jim here. Hope you're having a great weekend. And today we're going to be answering a viewer's question in video format, and maybe it might help somebody else as well. It's going to be breaking down how my signal flow or my routing works for making these YouTube videos. And the person who asked the question is named Spike. He's a regular on this channel. He also has his own channel where he kind of shows off his own guitars, he has a nice take on the way he does his demos. I'll leave a link down to that down below. However, without further ado, let's get started breaking down where this all starts. Now, the unsung hero of this channel is not a piece of musical gear whatsoever. It is what you're watching me through. I'm going to show you on the screen. It's a Sony A5400 with 28mm lens on it. I would be lost without this thing. I am not a camera buff. I don't know too much as far as the specifics go, but this camera has not let me down once, and I use it, as you know, every single day extensively. I take it out of the house. I film a lot when I'm going out, and either when I was in a recording studio in San Diego, or if I'm just going around here, you know, for personal stuff for family. I use this thing all the time. It's really reliable, and you don't need to have a 4K or 5K camera to be able to make decent content. This thing still serves a great purpose for me to this day. Okay, now for the guitar stuff. It doesn't matter what guitar it is, it goes right into the Drive Master, which goes into input 1 of the Quad Cortex. I have the effects loop set up so that the Zelza, the Volante are going through that. The multi-switches just control each of those. It's pretty simple. Right now, the way it's set up, this output is going to my amp. I have two presets I basically use. I use the Soldano one, where I have the effects loop patched in at the end of it, so it's going direct out into the computer. And then I have a clean one, which is based on a US Fender Deluxe Vibrato. Doesn't really matter at that point, but the way I get it to the computer is I'll unplug the amp input there, switch that output to this cable, and then I'll show you where it goes. So we take the other end of the cable and we plug it into input 1 of the Focusrite Scarlett 18i8. I specify input 1 because the program that I use to capture the video and audio simultaneously, OBS, it only really reads inputs 1 and 2. So if you use 3 and 4, it's not always going to be reliable, I've found. Sometimes, depending on your internal routing, it may work, but for the most part, it's safe to just use 1 and 2. And obviously 2, as you can see the light flashing on that, that's my vocal input. I like having them dedicated, and I leave the levels exactly the same for each one. And then if I have to make any adjustments in OBS, I can do it there, or if something really gets kind of scatterbrained, I can adjust it in Final Cut when I'm all done filming. And that's pretty much it. I do use that Amazon lighting kit, which I'll show you on the screen right now. I think it cost me $39.99 for both of the lights, and they're nice. They're USB powered, so I have one being powered by an external hub from the Mac right now, and then one on the back wall plugged right into an outlet. And yeah, it's nothing too serious with that, but it's really important when you are filming these videos, if you get your lighting right, then even a pretty okay camera by today's standards can look pretty darn good. And obviously a little bit of coloration in Final Cut doesn't exactly hurt. But I hope that helped you out a little bit, Spike. It gave you a kind of idea of how I do things. And one thing that I want you to take away is it actually is really simple. It's one of those things where you can make some things very complicated, and for some purposes that can be a good thing. It could be advantageous to do so depending on what you're going for. But to get started and to make, you know, a decent, I feel, quality content as far as, you know, the visuals and the audio of it, that's pretty much all you need to do. You just need to make sure that obviously nothing's clipping, make sure you have decent lighting, and your sound sources have a reliable way to translate into your computer. So that's going to be where I'm going to leave you guys. I hope this was helpful for anybody else. You know, just one of those things. If you like what I'm doing on this channel, please leave a like. I greatly do appreciate that. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you tomorrow to start a new week of new videos. Take it easy, everybody.